So one of the practices that we have adapted here at LeanDog, we call it Collaboration 8. Originally came from attending Jurgen Appello's Management 3.0 course, and he described something called the 7 levels of authority. We started trying to apply that in our company, and we modified it a little bit to make it work for us. We now call it Collaboration 8. The concept is pretty cool. One of the hardest things that we do is figure out at what level of authority or delegation or collaboration that we need to do to achieve certain tasks. There's several things that influence how involved people want to be in certain tasks. It could be time, it could be your competency, it could be impacted organizations. There's a lot of things that go into consideration when we try to get things done. So what we did is we created a set of cards, again, based on the 7 levels of delegation. One is, okay, if I'm a 1 at something, that means I'm going to tell you exactly what I need you to do. So I need a cup of coffee, cream, no sugar, right? Please. I'm going to tell you exactly what I want, and that's how I want it. And you don't really have much autonomy and the creativity or how you go about completing that task. A 2 could mean that I'm actually going to sell you on something, right? So I'm going to try and tell you why I think it's a really good idea that you do it my way. You can have a little bit of autonomy, but basically I want to convince you that this is a good way to do things, and please go off and kind of execute. A 3 is I will consult and then decide. So I'm gonna consult a bunch of people, get their opinions and say, hey, Shane, how would you do this? Trevor, Jody, tell me your opinions on how we should solve this problem or do this work. But ultimately, I'm going to take that collected information and I'm going to make the decision on how we actually complete that task. A 4 is, hey, you know what? Will you pair with me on this? I want your brain, my brain together. I want to figure out the best way to do it, and we'll come up with a solution together, and we'll implement it together, and we'll learn from each other. Okay, so that's the middle of the Collaboration 8. A 5 is a little bit different. I'm going to give you my advice, but you're going to decide. So, hey, Shane, I'd like you to go run this conference. Can you run a code retreat? I'm going to give you my advice. I'm going to tell you everything I learned from the past 5 code retreats that we did. But ultimately, I'm going to trust you to actually go off and do it. Now, if you went off and you did a really horrible job, next time I might say, hey, let's do a 4 and let's pair on it because I really didn't like the outcome or the impact, right, of that process. And form is I will inquire after they decide. So, in other words, hey, can you go off and plan a code retreat? I want you to come back, present to me what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. I'm going to ask you some questions, but ultimately, I just need to know kind of so I have your back. So if somebody says, why did you guys do it this way? You say, well, they informed me of the process and seemed to be well thought out, and that's what they chose to do. Delegate 7 is the other end of the extreme where I'm going to truly trust you to do it. So, hey, go run this conference, go meet with this client, and whatever happens. But I fully trust you to do it, and I believe you're competent to do it. You have time to do it, and everything else. The Joker card is a card that we added to the mix. The Joker card is, okay, I'm calling you out on it. You told me that you were a 6, which means I was going to inquire, but then when it came down to you, I came back to you, and then you totally changed the way I was going to do it. So you didn't kind of uphold the honor that you trusted me and that you thought that I was competent to do it. And you kind of pulled it. So it's a courageous way of saying BS, right? And maybe next time we should really think harder about what kind of a personal collaboration contract that we're going to put in place. So super simple, as in most things that really work. So we hope you give it a shot. And if you want a set of our cards, you can download them on our website.